The Clippers locked up the 5th seed in the West after beating the Warriors in the most important game of their season. This team looks extremely deadly and could be the dark horse of this NBA playoffs. Over their last 15 games, they're top 3 in net rating and the best offense in the NBA. A lot of this can be attributed to the return of a healthy Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi has been dominant since coming back to play this season. He's averaging 26 points per game and 7 rebounds with a true shooting percentage of 58. He looks just as good as he did in 2019, where he dominated the Eastern Conference to bring Toronto their championship. Kawhi looked amazing against the Warriors to secure his team a playoff spot, scoring 33 points and dishing out 7 assists, exploiting the doubles that the Warriors tried to send at him. Like in this play in the fourth quarter where Steph tried to double Kawhi deep past the three-point line, and it allowed Chris Dunn to get open in the middle of the key. Kawhi made the pass for what would end up being a Dunn lob to Zubac. They didn't just double him for no reason, because one-on-one he was untouchable. He got to the rim early, blowing by defenders. He was smooth in the mid-range game, constantly taking and making tough shots that look like prime Kawhi. In the clutch, with Draymond on an island, he hits a tough 2 in his face to pull the Clippers back into the game. His defense is as good as ever. The offensive bag is as dominant as it was at his peak, and he looks healthy. But that's the problem for this team. A reliance on Kawhi to be healthy is the scary part about picking the Clippers team to make a deep playoff run. To rely on Kawhi, whose career has been defined by his lack of availability, is tough. He hasn't been healthy in the Clippers' last 3 playoff runs. It's hard for me to believe he will stay healthy for this entire playoffs, given the chance they make some upsets and go on a deep run. But if he does remain healthy, they could very well make a championship run. That's the potential of this team with him on the court. Harden, who has had to pick up the slack for the unhealthy Kawhi Leonard, has been phenomenal this season and will most likely land on an All-NBA team. Harden averaged 22 points per game with 8 assists per game and a 36% assist percentage. This is indicative of Harden's ability to play well with a lob threat like Zubac, constantly getting off the screen to lay it up there for the big man. Harden has traditionally been great with a lob threat, and to have someone as talented as Zubac is a real threat for Harden. He passes to Zubac the most on a team, with 20% of his passes going to Zubac each game, where they combine for almost 60% field goal percentage. Specifically on lobs, Zubac scores them at an 89% clip, with the majority assisted by Harden. He has a great team around him with elite defenders and a great paint threat, but the biggest question is if he can show up when it matters most. He took over in overtime against the Warriors, the Clippers' most important game of the season. He scored back-to-back clutch 3-pointers to push the Clippers' lead to 7. Even when the Warriors brought it back to a 2-point game, Harden and Zubac made the big play of trapping Steph to get a steal. Then Harden once again came up big, blowing by GP2 for the goaltending floater to push the game to a 2-possession lead. Outside of Kawhi's free throws in overtime, Harden scored every single point for the Clippers. He showed up when it mattered most, which maybe is a sign of what's to come this playoffs. If he can elevate himself in the biggest moments, this Clippers team can do anything. Another reason this team can do anything is Ivica Zubac, one of the best centers in the NBA. His defensive capabilities make this Clippers team as good as they are, funneling defenders right to Zubac where he can shut down any drive. He contests the 4th most 2-point shots in the NBA and shuts down players, limiting them to only 49.6% from 2s in total, and against shots under 6 feet, 54.9% from the field. These are elite defensive field goal percentages, showing his ability to deter drivers. He's the biggest factor in this defense, being top 3 in the NBA over its last 15 games. But Big Zoo is not only a defensive monster, but also a very good offensive player. Zubac sets great screens, averaging 8th most screen assists per game. His elite screening ability helps make the Clippers pick and roll game very dangerous. As the roll man in the Clippers pick and roll game, Zubac has the 5th best points per possession in the NBA at 1.25, with a 66% field goal percentage in these scenarios. As mentioned earlier, his lob threat helps him be so dangerous after setting a hard screen and rolling to the paint like a freight train. But he's not only a lob threat, Zubac is also a dominant rebounder, as he leads the NBA with 300 offensive rebounds. Zubac has some finesse in his game where the Clippers will give it to him in the paint and he'll make a move to get an easy bucket. The Clippers love getting him the ball down there as it relieves some pressure on the main guys, as they know Zubac can make a polished move in the paint for easy points. His dynamic abilities are what makes this Clippers team an extreme threat to other teams in the West. He can do everything but shoot the 3, which doesn't matter for someone as impactful as him. Now, looking at the overall depth of this Clippers team, it's astonishing. They're filled with elite defenders and great scoring threats. Norman Powell is one of the most improved players this season, averaging 21 points per game on 41% shooting from 3. He filled the void Paul George left extremely quickly and honestly became a much better player than PG has been this season. Powell's scoring prowess has given the Clippers the ability to exploit teams who couldn't have 3 elite defenders on the court at the same time. He's able to exploit matchups much easier with guys like Harden and Kawhi taking the toughest assignments. For example, here's a game against Denver in December where he gets Jamal Murray, who is not a good defender, so Powell blows by him for the easy dunk. He creates mismatches all over the court with how good he is on the offensive end. Outside of Powell, this team is filled with great defenders like Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., and Nicholas Batum, not to mention a great shooter like Bogdan Bogdanovic off the bench. They're a stacked team with elite depth and great coaching by Tyronn Lue. There's a chance this Clippers team, behind their stars Kawhi and Harden, can make a deep run in the playoffs. They have the elite defense and elite offense to do it, along with strong depth across the board. The only thing stopping them is themselves and the OKC Thunder in a potential second round matchup. This team could do anything like flopping out of the first round or making the NBA Finals with a healthy team. To me, they're the second best team in the West and firmly the dark horse of this NBA playoffs. Let me know what you think about the Clippers in the comments below and make sure to subscribe. Peace out.